Stampede went into a paddock and up towards it.
Well, hello everybody, it's Suffolk Andy here on a nice Sunday afternoon. Very nice day I've had today. We've been to the Cobdock Bike Show. Yes, the Cobdock Bike Show. I can't believe how quick it comes around, but it did, and me and Aaron went. I'll put a little bit of how when we went in up there for you, so you can see how many people are there. It was rammed. There's a lot of people there today, more than I've seen for a long while. But the weather is fantastic. So I didn't actually record anything going around the show because I was meeting up with people I hadn't seen for a while, and some people I hadn't seen for a year or so. Lots of talking and socialising, as they say. So I'll show that to you. But anyway, as you can see, there's a lot here. Look at that lot. My word, it's going to be packed in there. Wow. Let's get ready to get in. We just left, and we're just having a little trip out to Shotley because we've got an hour and a half before we've got to pack the day up, as they say. So I'll take you along. We're going to Shotley. So because I'm doing this off the bat, as they say, we're not going to anywhere special. We're not going to show you anywhere special this week. Hopefully next week we'll have somewhere a little bit more different to go to. Now, the other day when I went to the Mott and Bailey Castle that I couldn't get up because of the mountain goats and the padlocks, I did do a section of that ride there about a subject, and well, let's just put it this way, I lost my mind, I think, and I didn't put it in because that made the video far too long anyway. So I'm now going to try and talk about it again in a sensible way without losing me marbles. But all I'm hearing now when I'm looking at news feeds and everything else from this dictatorial government we got now, I can say that because they are two-tier road pricing. Yeah, road pricing. Apparently they're tying with the idea of taking the road tax away and charging you per mile. Well, at the moment we still do pay per mile, because the more miles you do, the more tax you pay on fuel. So if you do 10 miles or you do 100 miles, you're paying a lot more because you bought more fuel. So are they going to drop the tax on fuel? And you've got to remember, on top of fuel you've got VAT as well, so they're double whamming you. So are they going to drop the fuel tax and charge you per mile? There's a slight problem with that. How are they going to do it? The only two ways I can think of is when you have your car or bike MOT'd, they can tell you how many miles you've done in that year and they will charge you the bill. So much per mile. What that mileage is going to be, nobody said. Or they got to put a tracker on your vehicle. A tracker. Now, this is where I've got to not go off my mind. I mustn't. All I'm saying is nobody is ever going to track me. Where I go, what I do, how many miles I do. That's my business, it's not their business. So I, for one, will not be accepting a tracker on this bike or my car. In fact, I go as far to say I think I'd be quite willing to go to prison. They'd have to come and get me. because that ain't gonna happen. I'm a free Englishman. I live in Great Britain, which I love, and I don't want to go down this road of them knowing wherever I go and where I go. You might as well live in China in the system that they've got, you know. I don't know what you think about it. They haven't actually said. I've heard rumours of 4p a mile. I don't know how true that is. So what do you think? Are you quite prepared to be tracked? Would it be cheaper because you don't do a lot of miles, but you'll be tracked? And how are they going to do it with the MOTs? Because a lot of people change their cars and whatever, sell their cars privately and stuff like that. It's impractical. The only way they can do it is track you. You cannot let them take your freedom. You really cannot. Anyway, let me know what you think, and let's have a discussion about it. Right, on to Shotley. I get past all these very, 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 very slow cars. Tracked. Tracked. Nobody's tracking me. Trust me. Right, this is the little village of Chalmerdiston. Spent a lot of my childhood here because my nana and granddad lived here. So school holidays, I was always over here because mum and dad were working. Oh, and that was the house right there. Right there. I know you couldn't really see it, but it was called Halfway House. Yes. Yeah, me and Aaron are going to have a little run down to, let's say, Shotley. It's only 12 miles from home, so we can get home and have a nice cup of coffee. Then I have to go and pick up Mrs. P from work, because she's working on a Sunday. That's the trouble when there's a little bit of an age difference between you, you know. Mrs. P is 7 years younger than me, so she hasn't retired yet. I have, but she can't, not for another few years. If she'd been like most women in the distant past, she would have retired at 60. But now they've put it up to 66 and a half, I think, for her, or 67, I'm not really sure, which is a bit of a swizz. See, this is all new, building up. None of this was here a couple of years ago. They're building on the old HMS Ganges, putting thousands of houses or hundreds of houses in here. And they've all got to go down that little tiny road that we just come. It's going to be great. Clogged, dangerous. They've dropped all the speed limits for these houses. These are all your luxury flats. These have just been built over the last couple of years. Cost you a fortune to have one of these. You have to be very rich. And there's Felixstowe over there with all the boats. There goes a nice sailing boat going into the lock. There you go. Right, with that, all ride safe, love each other, Suffolk Andy.